Elon Musk, the billionaire tech visionary, has never been known to hold back his opinions. But what happened during his recent appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert took even his biggest fans by surprise. The segment quickly spiraled from playful banter into an all-out verbal showdown. It started innocently enough. Colbert, known for his biting humor, threw a few cheeky remarks about Musk's ambitious Mars plans. Elon smiled, took it in stride at first, but there was an intensity in his eyes that hinted at what was coming. The audience laughed, unaware of the storm about to hit. Colbert quipped, "So, you want us to abandon Earth and live in a giant tin can on a red desert?" Elon chuckled, then calmly replied, "I'd rather be in a tin can on Mars than a sinking ship on Earth." Stephen, the tension was palpable, but it was just getting started. Pushing further, Colbert joked, "Do we get Wi-Fi and Netflix on Mars? Or is it just loneliness and dust?" Elon's face tightened. "The real joke," he said, "is how some people ridicule progress while living off the tech built by people like me." The crowd went silent for a beat. Colbert tried to brush it off with another jab. "Maybe we should solve climate change before building space condos." Elon leaned forward and said, "And maybe late-night hosts should do research before mocking innovation that could save humanity." The studio audience shifted uncomfortably. That was the moment things shifted. Elon's tone grew sharper, more direct. "You use tech every day that my companies helped pioneer, yet you mock the very spirit of that innovation on national TV." Colbert raised his eyebrows, caught off guard by the sudden intensity. Trying to reclaim control, Colbert replied, "I'm just trying to have some fun, Elon. You know, comedy." Elon didn't blink. Mockery disguised as comedy isn't harmless when it spreads ignorance about things that truly matter. "This isn't a joke to me, Stephen." The audience didn't know whether to laugh or stay quiet. Elon wasn't playing along. He continued, "There's a responsibility that comes with influence. People listen to you. So when you mock serious solutions, you're holding back progress." Colbert looked momentarily rattled. Trying to lighten the mood, Colbert pivoted, Okay, let's talk then. Should we all be afraid of robot overlords, Mr. Musk?" Elon leaned in, unwavering. "You should be more afraid of misinformation and media spin. That's more dangerous than any robot right now." It was clear Elon came prepared for more than casual banter. "You joke about AI," he said, "but when it impacts jobs, privacy, and war, who's going to explain it properly to the people?" "You?" Colbert shifted in his seat, smiling nervously. The tension was thick. Colbert responded, "We do satire, Elon. We make people laugh while making them think." Elon fired back, "But when the laughs come at the expense of truth, that's not satire, that's negligence." The crowd let out an audible gasp. Elon wasn't backing down. "You want people to think," Elon continued, "then show them the real stakes. We're on the brink of an energy revolution, AI ethics, space expansion. These aren't punchlines, these are lifelines." His voice was sharp, each word landing like a blow. Colbert tried to regain his footing. "All right, Captain Future, I'll bite. What's the biggest threat we face right now?" Elon didn't hesitate. "Complacency. Laughing while Rome burns, mocking while the planet heats. That's the real danger." The exchange was no longer just heated up, it was scalding. Elon pressed further, "You have a platform. Use it to inspire, not to belittle the ones trying to build something better." Colbert sat silently for a second, clearly unprepared for the relentless energy from his guest. Then Elon added, "We're not going to Mars because it's easy. We're doing it because we need a backup plan. We don't laugh at people who build fire escapes. We thank them. Why not treat planetary survival the same way?" The studio was in stunned silence. Colbert finally responded, "Okay, Elon, you've made your point. But don't you think we still need to laugh?" Musk smiled tightly. "Sure, laugh all you want, but don't let the laughter become a shield from responsibility or a weapon against progress." There was an awkward pause. Colbert tried to change the topic, but Elon interrupted, "No, Stephen, let's finish this. Let's talk about what really matters: the truth, urgency, and the courage to think beyond today's headlines and tomorrow's jokes." The clash was no longer just personal, it had become philosophical. Elon was challenging not just Colbert, but the very culture of entertainment that prioritizes mockery over meaning. The crowd sensed it too. Phones were out. Clips would go viral. "Elon, I admire your passion," Colbert said finally, trying to soften the tone. "But you've got to admit, sometimes you make it hard for people to connect with your vision." Elon responded, "Vision isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to pull us forward." The crowd, once giggling and snickering, was now hanging on every word. Elon had transformed a comedy segment into a masterclass in conviction. He wasn't yelling, he wasn't raging, but his words cut deeper than any outburst ever could. And then came the final blow. Colbert jokingly asked, "So, when do I get my Tesla spaceship ticket?" Elon didn't smile. "When you stop treating the future like a late-night gimmick and start treating it like the only thing worth fighting for." Ouch. The clip ended shortly after, but it had already ignited fire online. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #Musk versus Colbert and #Elon Unleashed were trending within minutes. Fans and critics alike were stunned. Elon didn't just hold his own, he dominated. News outlets scrambled to analyze the moment. Was it a meltdown or a masterstroke? Depending on your side, Elon either embarrassed himself or embarrassed Colbert. Either way, it was the most talked about TV moment of the year. Analysts debated whether it helped or hurt Musk's image, but among his supporters, it was clear, this wasn't a meltdown. It was a message, one that said he's tired of being treated like a cartoon when he's out here trying to change the world. Elon's team later confirmed he had no regrets. "He speaks from the heart," a SpaceX exec said, "and when the heart is passionate about the survival of humanity, it sometimes means telling uncomfortable truths even on a comedy show." In the days that followed, memes flooded the internet. Some mocked Musk, others praised his intensity. But one thing was clear, no one was ignoring him. He had turned an interview into a moment of reckoning for pop culture itself. Stephen Colbert, to his credit, addressed it the next night. "Well, I poked the dragon," he said, "and the dragon bit back." The crowd laughed, but even Colbert seemed a bit humbled. He knew something powerful had happened. Elon Musk didn't just win an argument that night. He made people stop and think about Mars, about climate, and about how we treat those who dream so big. It makes others uncomfortable. That's not being realistic. That's being bold.